What's up, everybody? It's Pac-Man from Drunk Monkey Garage. I don't know why I'm yelling, because I have a microphone on. So Anyway, we've got a special project going on today. We've made an investment in the Lumalore paint. If you guys don't know what that is, it's an electric luminescent paint that actually hooks up to a power source and lights up. So
yeah, either 110 volt or 12 volt.
Yeah, 18 volts actually.
Is it 18?
Yeah. Yeah, it uses a power inverter and changes your DC input into an AC output. So what we've got prepared is the helmet speed shape from Limelight Paint Supply. To prepare this aluminum panel for the Lumalore, I scuffed it with a red Scotch-Brite pad and then gave it 2 good coats of an epoxy primer. After that dried overnight, I gave it 2 coats of Limelight's coarse silver base coat. Then I topped it all off with 3 coats of a quality 2K clear. Once the clear was dry, I progressively sanded it from 400 to 800 grit, make everything smooth, and the panel was ready for the Lumalore. We've watched the videos for Lumalore to see how to do it. It's going to be our first attempt. But after we get this thing to light up, we're going to do something really special over top of it. So with that said, we're going to find out what's in the box. Okay, so I ordered this directly from Lumalore. They're located in Medina, Ohio. I live in Geneva, Ohio, so it got here relatively quickly. I've had this for about a week and haven't opened it until we could do this video. So well, there's a bunch of paper in it.
Yeah.
It's not a very...
Joke's on us.
It's not a very heavy box either.
Well, the bottles are only like that big.
Yeah. So, for reference, I did buy the 4-ounce kit. They also have a 2-ounce kit and an 8-ounce kit. You'll have to check their website for the prices because I'm not real sure on that. So in the box, there are 2 smaller boxes and a thank you note. That's always nice. So this box, as it shows, is the 4-ounce, and we chose the color white because after we do our special top coat over this, we're going to put a candy green on it. See how that works out. So I imagine this is the paint products itself. More paper. So this is actually a 5-layer process. 4 of the layers they provide. And then the last layer is a 2K clear coat. So what you have is the backplane, which is going to be the first layer. The dielectric, which acts as an insulator between your base layer and your conductive top coat. This is the actual color coat. And then you have your conductive top coat. So to add to that, the only thing you need is a good primer and a 2K clear coat to get your substrate ready, but then 2K clear coat to protect all of these layers. So that's your paint.
That's your peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, your peanut butter jelly sandwich. They do have a very good video library on YouTube about how to apply this stuff and the steps you take. So this box, which I'm actually kind of shocked because it's not the tank, it's a regular speed shape.
Yeah.
Does come with JB Weld. Here, let's do this. And this is a plexiglass panel. So it does come with a regular panel and a shape to do whatever
Contour.
Yeah, whatever you want to do on that. We are actually going to use our own speed shape from Limeline, like I told you. But the area that we're using, the area of the helmet, the helmet shape that we're using is probably equal to both of these.
Yeah.
So we might have even some left over, hopefully. Does come with some copper tape. Nice magnet.
Really?
For the fridge.
Wow. Cool.
That'll go on the beer fridge.
Yeah.
And it also comes with 2 connectors, which provide your 18 volts with 2 9-volt batteries. These connectors will actually attach to your project. And then it comes with 2 small power inverters. So that's it. That's what's in the kit. Like I said, you'll have to check the price on the website. They do sell just the paint products. This is just so you can do a test piece and learn the product and figure it out. So with that, I'm going to get this stuff out of the way and show you some of the equipment and materials we need in order to do our speed shape. So after watching the video several times, I've kind of gathered what materials and equipment we need. First of all, you need some kind of gloves to keep your part clean. You're going to need a multimeter. This is going to test your conductivity and your resistance. You want the resistance to be somewhere between 5 and 20 ohms. Otherwise, you don't have a good enough coat of the conductive backplane. So that's going to be very useful. Cleaning products are all water-based. They do stress the importance of that. And we also have isopropyl alcohol. A couple of razor blades, some 3/4 inch paper tape, some 1/4 inch paper tape, and 1/4 inch vinyl tape. Lint-free cleaning rags, a nice tack rag, and a heat gun. Going to use the heat gun under black light when we do the color coat. That ensures that we get it sprayed evenly and it's not blotchy and all that, and the light, when it lights up, will be consistent. It's what we want.
Black light.
Yeah, black light. Plus it'll make us look all cool, like we're from the 60s.
There's not enough light to make me look cool.
Your beer will light up.
Yeah, really.
So after priming it, I sanded it smooth to give me a nice surface to apply the base coat on. The base coat is coarse silver base coat from Lumalore. It's a really cool silver base coat. So after that, I put 2 coats of PPG SC300 clear coat. It's just an overall clear coat, multiple uses for it. It's not the highest grade automotive clear coat, but it's also not a cheap clear coat. I like that because it sands really, really nice. It's a good inner coat clear to use. And what you're wanting to do here is seal the metal off from any electrical conductivity. So you're putting a barrier that's not conductive between our conductive layers and the metal substrate. So that's why I made sure to get the edges really good, because if you get any of that conductive top coat around the edges and it's not sealed, then you can get a short or a shock.
Yeah.
And you don't want your panel to be electrified.
It's a mild shock, but
Yeah.
still a shock.
Yeah. So that's how I prepped this. After I put the clear coat, I put 2 coats of clear on this, sanded it smooth with 400 to 600 grit, and then I laid down 1 more coat of clear and sanded that with 600, 800 grit. And then I used a gray Scotch-Brite pad to give it a good scuff for the backplane layer to stick to. So at that point, we cleaned it. I'm gonna tack it off and clean it 1 more time. We're gonna tape a border around it, which will
3/4.
eventually be our,
That's the
what do they call that? The bus bar.
Bus bar, yes.
Yeah, the bus bar will be around the edges, and all the middle will be your backplane material. So I got to tape off for that.
What's the 1/4 inch margin for?
Really not sure. I think that is just, I think they want you to use that 1/4 inch vinyl underneath or inside.
of?
Yeah, inside that.
Yeah.
So that you don't have any backplane bleeding under the
Okay.
paper tape.
Gotcha.
So right now I'm just cleaning it again. I got my isopropyl alcohol, got it wiped down. Now we're going to use a water-based glass cleaner that is ammonia-free. A little rag. See, you can see when it's wet. See how that sparkles?
Oh, yeah.
Almost looks like a microflake.
Yeah.
Now we'll tack this off real quick, and then I'll put you on time lapse while I tape it off. So I'm going to follow these contours pretty closely, but some of where we got the notches and stuff, I'm just going to kind of smooth that out so that we're not fighting the tape a lot. Got a couple of jaggy corners here. I'm just going to put a 3/4 straight down on that. So we've got our panel all taped off. We left a spot for the connection site. We're going to bring that under and do our connection site on the back. The instructions when you get the kit tell you to do the connection site right here, but we're gonna
Hide it
and do it a little advanced technique. I did watch the other videos on that. So we have our little beast minigun we're going to use. We have a disposable cup system that already has a screen in it, so we're not going to have to filter the product itself. The first thing we want to do is take a multimeter reading and make sure that our clear is covering everything evenly and we don't have any open spots. So we'll put one lead here and then just move this around and listen for any beeps. So far so good. Make sure, yep, okay. And we'll put one on the back. Make sure we don't have any conductivity there. So at this point, we are ready to spray our backplane layer. So I'm going to shake this up vigorously like they tell you in the instructions. I think we're going to maybe, I don't know how much we're going to put in here.
What is that, 4 ounces?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think 50 milliliters, which is a little less than 2 ounces. If that's not enough, we can always use more. The good thing about this is you're not putting a reducer or anything in it, so what you don't use, you can put back in the container. This stuff is ready to spray out of the bottle. Make sure it's good.
Yeah. Been sitting on their shelf, you
Yeah.
know, who knows how long. Give you a date code?
2/20/25. Not too long.
Not too bad. Don't drink it.
Ooh, smells like paint.
Yes, it does. Smells good. A little less than 2 ounces.
50 milliliters looks like a lot, but that's the lowest measurement I have on this thing. Well, you know,
Pour it back in if we don't use it.
I'm just going to go up to the line here. We are using a minigun with a 0.8 tip. So, well, we still have a lot in there. We still got to do the bus bar too, though. That looks like maybe about an ounce. It's about halfway to the 2 ounce mark. Like I said, we can always add more. We can always pour back what we don't use. The one thing they do say in the instructional videos is to mix it well before you spray it, and while you're spraying it, you want to agitate it because it does settle very quickly. So like I said, I'm using the Little Beast from American Dream. It's a 0.8 tip. I do have a 1.2 tip for it, and if this isn't covering well enough, then we may switch to that, but I think this will be fine. I'm gonna open my fan pattern all the way up. I'm gonna dial my needle out 1 turn. We'll start with that and do a little test on the test panel in there. Make sure we got a good pattern. So I'm going to take this into the booth. We'll get the booth closed up and we'll get you back in there. So like Clyde said, when you're not using this paint, you want to store it upside down. That way it doesn't clog up your nozzle. But we've got our first layer of the backplane laid down. There is some spotty coverage on that, but I'm going to bump my needle out another half turn so that a little more material will come out. We're spraying at 20 psi. And that should give us a good coverage for our second coat. After that, we're going to take an ohm reading and make sure we have between 5 and 20 ohms. The lower the ohms, the better you are on this. So we're shooting for right around 5 ohms. If we're getting more than 20, then we're going to have to spray another layer of this on and get an even coverage on it.
Run it out. There's the creek.
All right, so we have sprayed our backplane, which is basically, it seems like a copper paint.
Yeah.
It's actually, it seems like a liquid copper that dries.
We did an ohms reading on his fingers.
Yeah. And I had some overspray on my glove, and it actually read
good.
read good. So what we're going to do right now is test conductivity, make sure so everything we need connected is connected. Everything we don't want to be connected is not connected. So now we're going to go and take an ohms reading. I'm on 2K setting. And across the board, we are getting 0.01-ish ohms. .01-ish ohms. So we are definitely below our 10 ohm threshold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the max was 10.
The max is 10 ohms. We did untape this, and I did tape off for our connection site here. So,
But we checked that before.
yeah, I did check the back of it, and it does have conductivity to the rest of the panel. So the next step is the dielectric. And for those of you who don't know what a dielectric layer would be, Clyde is an electrical engineer, so
It's
I'll
an
let him
insulator.
explain. Yes.
It's an insulator.
It basically insulates this backplane so that when we put the bus bar down, there's no way it can contact it and short out.
Right.
So this is just basically a sprayable, kind of like your the liquid tape that you would put on wires.
Yeah.
So it's basically an insulation layer. So we're gonna spray that next. From what we've seen from the videos, supposed to spray 2 coats of it, let it dry 10 minutes in between coats, and you should not see any copper color. You'll see a shade difference where the copper is, but you shouldn't see any of the copper color.
Correct.
So we're gonna get masked up, get the gun loaded up, and we'll get in the booth.
2 ounce mark. It should leave us with half of this left. We may be able to do that panel also. That came in the kit. Could you hear me? Got my mask on. Talking. But anyway, we may be able to do that panel and coat it with a good coat, a clear coat, and use that as a test panel for candies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or airbrushing or whatever we want to do with that. So here we go with the dielectric. Once again, I'm using the little beast with the 0.8 tip. I did find that with the 0.8 tip, since it's smaller, I'm having to spray at 30 psi instead of 25.
You notice I redid the spray booth?
Yeah. Nice.
Looks nice now.
Nice.
Got silver walls now.
Oh.
It is bright in here.
Yeah.
Okay, the fan's wide open. Turn my fluid out 2 turns. And we're at 30 psi. So those gun settings seem to do really well. We got a good coverage on that first coat.
I don't have to be in it.
But yeah, if you're using a smaller tip, you may have to increase your air pressure a little bit. But we're just spraying minute amount of this, so I didn't want to use a big gun. Got the gun stored upside down, keep the needle from clogging. But that first layer looks really good. We're gonna give it 10-15 minutes to flash off and lay down another coat and see where we're at. All right, so we've got our dielectric sprayed down. It looks just like they show in the video. There is no copper color, but you can see a contrast between where the copper is sprayed down and where it's not. The next step is the color. We chose white because we're going to try to do a candy over the top of it. And we wanted as neutral of a color as we could get. So if Clyde will get my phone off of the tripod, we'll take you in the booth and show you what this looks like under black light. So this paint has a phosphorus in it, which makes it glow under black light. As you can see, there's a couple of other things in here that glow on that, but the panel itself, the dielectric is not reactive to the black light. So we're going to be able to tell exactly where we're spraying the color and how thick we're getting it. So we've got our cup, we've got our filter cap in here. We've been shaking this for the last 20 minutes.
I don't know if yes.
Something like that.
Got it
So
upside down.
the other coats, we've done 3 coats, or the other layers, we've done 3 coats. So we're going to put a little bit more in this just in case we have to do 3 coats. I'm going to go to the 75 milliliter mark.
Because you can pour it back in the bottle.
Yes. On the last application, we did realize that we need to open the needle up a little more because it's a 0.8 needle, and we do have to bump the pressure up to 30 psi. So we're going to get
With this, we got to shake it constantly, pretty much.
this needs to be shaken constantly because it's prone to separation. So we're going to get this all together, get masked up, and we'll get in the booth. So we have sprayed our backplane, our dielectric,
Our Lumicolor.
our Lumacolor, which we picked white so we can hopefully spray candy over it. It may not show up on camera, but where we sprayed the backplane does show through a little bit. There's no color, but it's a different shade. What we are doing now is we're going to tape off for what's called the bus bar. That's going to go on the outside edge all the way around, and that's what's going to help complete the circuit. So normally our connection site would be here and here on the bus bar and the backplane, but we carried that to the back. So what we're going to do is make our connection on the back of the panel
Using copper tape.
using copper tape and the connection provided in the kit. That way we can hang it on the wall and not have wires on the front of the panel, and it'll look a little bit cleaner. This is a little more advanced technique, but we did test our conductivity and we did have,
Everything was right.
yeah, we had everything right. So this step is just taping off for the bus bar to complete the circuit, and I'm going to put you on hyperlapse while I tape all this out because this is going to take a little bit. And once we get that done, we're going to spray more of the backplane material on the area around the edges to complete this circuit. So as you can see, we got everything taped up.
Takes forever.
It took almost an hour, I think.
Yeah, I think more than an hour.
Yeah. So you want to get your edges taped off. You want to tape around the edges so that you don't get any of the conductivity around to the back of the panel. This right here is where we did the back plane originally. You don't want the bus bar material to overlap that in any way. So I think we've got a pretty good tape job here. I don't think we're going to get any underspray.
The white is actually the new bus bar. It's the other side of it, if that makes sense.
So as we did with the original back plane, we're going to wrap the bus bar around to the back so we can make our connection our connector will go back here instead of being on the front. So we're going to get masked up. We're going to get our backplane material loaded up in the gun, and we'll get in there and spray the bus bar. Okay, so we have our bus bar painted. We have everything untaped, and we sanded down the edges of the bus bar. You want to be real careful when you're doing this because it can
Bleed over
into your paint pretty easily. Clean that up with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol
Scotch pad.
and a Scotch-Brite pad. And then we've got our bus bar and our backplane leads back here. We tested for conductivity. We have about 0.8 ohms.
0.08.
0.08. On the front, we have about the same. And then between the backplane and the bus bar, we have nothing,
Wide open.
which is exactly what we want. That means there's no shorts in it. And all of our layers are put down correctly. So at this point, what we have to do is connect our lead for the power. We're going to do that on the back side. They did include a very nice connector that has spring-loaded gold feet, I guess you would call them.
Yeah. Pins.
And those connect to your inverter on the other side.
Self-stick.
So all you have to do is peel off the backing of this and connect it so that one side connects to the bus bar, one side connects to the back plane. So we're going to do that right now.
Did you hit that with alcohol first?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Should we put the copper tape on it?
Make sure we have a good connection.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
So It did come with a length of copper tape. We're going to put that down just to make sure we have a good connection on it. So this is just a copper tape that was included in the kit. Just going to press that down firmly. Put it right on that edge.
All right.
Custom painting process isn't always the most fun or the most enjoyable. Can be tedious at times, but in the end, it's usually worth it. So now we're just going to press this double-sided tape down. Make sure it's touching both of the connectors. We're just going to press that down firmly. Make sure we get a good adhesion. And then we can test this by making sure we have continuity between
Two pins.
the pins and the tape. There we go. There's one, and there's two. Now, as long as we don't have continuity between the two,
Which we don't.
we should be good.
Sweet.
So not only do you have to be good at painting, you have to be somewhat of an electrical engineer to do this stuff.
So the next step is
I gotta grab the inverter.
we have to connect up the inverter and get it not powered up yet, but get it ready to power up. Then we have to go in the paint booth and turn off the lights, turn off all the lights, and we power up the inverter, and then that's when Pac-Man will paint the conductive top coat,
And that's when the magic will happen.
and then I'll have the heat gun, and we'll as soon as it's actually just a light dusting of the conductive top coat, and then once he's done giving a quick dusting, then hit it with the and of course the inverter's energized, and when we hit it with the heat gun, it should start to illuminate.
If all goes well.
It will. It will.
I don't have batteries. All right. So we're going to get this set up. We're going to get the inverter hooked up. We'll get this in the booth, and then once I get my gun loaded up, we'll get in there and spray this top coat on, and hopefully we see magic.
No, by the way, the top coat is the only water-based part of the whole process.
Yeah. So you don't want to shake it up too much because
Yes, because it'll foam.
it'll foam. All right, we'll see you in the booth. Okay, it's going to get dark.
Which one turns the light off?
This one right here.
Oh.
Because everything's plugged into that. So we're going to turn this off, and it's going to get dark until this lights up. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. Good.
Turn the inverter on. And it's got two settings, flash and steady. So I got to make sure it's on steady. That's on steady. Something sounded weird.
Yeah, it did.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, don't go anymore. So I think it's so dark because you hit it a second time. You getting any arcing under there?
Yep.
Yeah, we have a short. Shut it off. What was it arcing? Right at the connection? Right there.
So the sparking we are attributing to the water-based conductive coat bleeding under the tape a little bit. Once it dried, it has stopped sparking. And as you can see, our area has lit nicely. This was our first attempt. There were mistakes made. We got a little bit heavy with the color coat right there. Made it a little bit darker. The pattern it's not showing in the video, but the pattern right in the middle seems to be a little bit splattered, and we do have some dust and nibs in it, and that I can attribute to the paint booth that I'm in. But overall, as a first test piece,
I think it's fantastic.
it's fantastic. It's great.
Yeah,
it's a great product.
It really is. Just to get it to light up, it's like
Yeah.
quite an accomplishment.
So we still have to do, let me turn the lights on here. So as you can see, we can still see the bus bar. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come up with some kind of pattern to cover that and incorporate the lighted portion of this helmet. I'm probably going to do some sort of crystal pattern, which will be really interesting to see how that lights up under the crystal. I want to thank Clyde for coming out yesterday and helping me out with the Lumalore project. We had a lot of fun. It was a long day. It took us about 10 hours to complete that test panel, but the results were definitely worth it. We did make a few mistakes, but it was worth it to learn how to use that product. With a little bit of practice and a little more experience spraying that stuff, I think you could get tremendous results with this. We do plan to do a few more projects with the Lumalore. Hopefully we can get a little better at it and get a lot better results. The test panel we did yesterday, I'm going to put about 4 coats of clear coat on it so that we can practice some techniques over that without damaging the Lumalore layer itself. I want to experiment with putting some crystal over that and maybe some candy. So I want to put enough clear coat over it to protect it in case I need to sand that back to the clear coat. That's what I've been doing today. I've been laying the clear coat down over the test panel. It's coming out nice. We did have some dirt nibs and some debris in the Lumalore layer itself. And with the top coat being water-based, I didn't really want to sand that back, so I just cleared over that. It's gonna be what it is. At least this test panel will give us an opportunity to try some different coatings over top of it to see what'll work and what won't. Hopefully the crystal will come out pretty cool. If the crystal works out over the Lumalore, it should be a pretty incredible result. And then if we can candy over top of that and have the light show through the candy and the crystal, I think it'll be just amazing. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna wrap this video up. It's kind of a long one. It was a long day, but we do have the Lumalore base down and it does light up. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons and make sure you hit that bell icon for notifications of future videos. We still have our second mailbox project that we're working on, and I picked up a couple of the US General mini toolboxes to play around with, so you don't want to miss those. And until next time, cheers.